Hey everyone, it's Vintage Vinny and welcome to another haul video. Today everything I'm going to be sharing with you came from Country Road Antiques in Newmarket, Virginia. So I spent a grand total of, I think, $172.20 on everything that I am going to be sharing with you. Now, this is not everything. There's a few more things behind me. So let's go ahead and jump right in. I did find this really awesome Mars Statler pencil box, or pencil tin, and it still has some of the pencils in it. These were originally made in Germany, so that's nice. I'm sure these were very good quality pencils back in the day. So of course I'm going to do some research on those and see where those will end up being sold. If you all don't know, Katie of Vintage and Vinyl and I like to do an industrial sale every now and then. I know that she recently just moved, and doing a sale at the moment would probably not be the best idea because she's, got to get settled into her new place. So we will be doing another sale together, and as I go through a lot of the items that I have acquired in the last few months and, me trying to play catch up, I'm finding stuff for those sales. So keep your eyes peeled. We will definitely announce when we are going to be doing one. I probably should message her because I feel like we did schedule one, but I can't remember for the life of me at the moment because I've just been doing so much. But anyway, another sale with her will happen soon. So I bought this lid. I have one of these canisters, and I think that the plastic was split and it wasn't holding the seal in tightly. So I went ahead and bought that one as a replacement with the hopes that it would fit inside of that one to keep it in place. So this is cool, and I think I might be a little late for selling this for Valentine's Day, but this is a Who's House glass trinket dish with Cupid on it. Definitely gonna have to clean it up a little bit because I don't remember if this was sitting inside or out, but that's nice, and I will probably have that up for sale in my eBay store. So we will see about that. This is really cool too. This is just a little glass piece. I have no idea if this goes with it. I think somebody just stuck that down in there. Not broken anywhere, definitely different. Oh, that's not even in focus. I am so sorry. So I'm going to have to look that up. I want to say that this was a really inexpensive piece. And typically what I like to do is if something is really inexpensive and it's different and I'm either on a time crunch because the store is going to close really soon or, there's just a lot to look at, I say if it's cheap, just grab it and learn about it because, that's another thing that we all do as sellers of, when we thrift or we go flea marketing or antiquing or whatever. But yeah, that was a very unique piece. This caught my eye. I'm not sure how old it is or who made it, but it definitely has age to it. Oh, I'm just noticing now that there is a repair on the bottom of the lid there, but that doesn't affect the piece itself. I want to say that this is maybe Japanese, and the only reason I say that is because my grandmother had some hand-painted pieces, I think that were from the 20s, that were from Japan, in her hutch in her dining room. And I remember we pulled them out and looked at them a couple of times. So that definitely was something neat. And like I said, some of the stuff I'm just noticing has damage on it, like this girl here. Did not notice it until just unwrapping it. This says George Imports, which I think was part of Joseph Original, because it has the Joseph Original black foil sticker on the bottom, but it says George Imports. I have not seen her, or did not see her at the time that I acquired her. So even though she has a repaired neck, I thought, well, now that I'm thinking about it, because I already have it, that I would, do a little bit more research on her, because even if a piece is harder to find, somebody will still buy it. Granted, I don't normally buy items with repair, like figurines that have a repair like that, because obviously, it's a repair. But if it's something that you've never seen before, and heck, if you just wanted to have it to, learn about it and it wasn't expensive, I say buy it. And, once you find out what it is and what its value could be, even with damage, heck, sell it. Or if it's not worth anything because of the damage, at least you didn't spend too much and you were able to learn something. So this piece is interesting. I actually have one of these upstairs in my office/guest room where I do all my sales. And funny enough, when you put a black light into it, it fluoresces orange. So that's really, really cool. I have not had a chance to really thoroughly research who made these. This could very well be a modern piece of glass. Like I said, I have no idea. I'm going to have to like I said, dig in a little bit and see who possibly made that. I love this Jack in the Pulpit vase. It's just a great shade of blue, and you guys know that I love my blue glass. Can't keep all of my blue stuff, so sometimes I have to part with some things to make room on my shelf in my bedroom with all my glass pieces. This piece caught my eye because I really loved the smoky blue color. I just liked that swirl design in it. So that, again, will require some research, but just a very cool piece nonetheless. Did I show this yet? Nope. This is awesome. This is an Imperial Glass Zodiac Sugar Bowl. I have a candy bowl, or a candy dish, and I didn't know that they made sugar and creamer. I want to say that this did not have a handle because there's no place, or a lid, because there's no place for it to sit. So I'm going to be keeping my eyes peeled for that creamer to go with that. I want to say that Imperial released that, I think, from 1962 to 1971. Because I made a post about it on Instagram, and from my findings, and I think that's how long Imperial made that Zodiac line, so call it early 70s. Early 60s to the early 70s. So this is a marble bust. It says Schumann, 1810 to 1850. And it's marble, so I'm going to probably have to take a magic eraser to clean it up a little bit, but that was definitely a good find. This is really cool. I don't know much about jewelry and brooches, but sometimes if a piece is inexpensive enough, I like to pick them up and learn about it. It looks like a clown, or it could be a scarecrow too. I don't see a maker's mark on it at the moment, but then again, I haven't pulled it off the card to look. I just liked him. I thought he was really cool and different. So this piece was actually a very good score. I had never seen anything quite like this before, but according to my research, this is a very old piece of recycled glass, probably from about turn of the last century. It's Mexican recycled glass, and it's got a ram's head on it. Now, this is something that I did end up paying up for because it was... Please don't tell me that's a crack. There might be an internal crack on that, but this is, over 100 years old. And like I said, I think I paid about $12 for this. And I think even with the small little issues that it's got, I might still be able to nab $40 for that because I don't think that that's easy to find. I did manage to find a small little receipt spike. I know that people do collect these and they use them to hold, either use for receipts or they just have them on a shelf displayed with all the different designs of the metal. So that's really cool, and that would be very easy to ship. last item for this... Oh, no, not the last item. I'm sorry. There's one big item that's an elephant in the room. These pieces I like to find when I can find them. I think they're made by Hazel Atlas. I have one in green, I have one in blue, I have one in clear, and I have one in yellow. They're just fun, you know, typical candy dish that you'd see. I think this was probably from the 60s. The green one and the yellow one have like a sandblasted texture to it. These ones are just like solid, you know, just like your typical clear glass. This piece is beautiful, and I think that this is an Empoli based on the rim here. But look at that. Isn't that just exquisite? I mean, I wouldn't recommend turning this into a light fixture, but I could definitely see that, you know, hanging from somebody's dining room or something if they decide, if that was made to be a light fixture. But it's just a bowl. It's beautiful. I saw it, and I think the price was like really, really reasonable for it. So I said I gotta have this because it's awesome. Probably will require a little bit more research. I know that some Empoli pieces are worth listing online, and some of them I would rather just sell to you all directly at my YouTube sales. All right, so moving right along. In one section of the store, I did find some of these Bath & Body Works deodorizing body sprays. I don't normally like these because, you know, a lot of people will wear these instead of like showering or something. I remember that from high school. Ugh. Anyway, so these originally cost $12.50 at the Bath & Body Works store, and I think I paid about $1.50 for them, maybe a little bit less. So I got 2 of the Noir, and I also got one of the Teak Woods. And when things are that inexpensive and you want to just try them out, it's better than buying them brand new in the store, and then, of course, not being able to return it because you used it. Anyway, so, you know, I paid... $4 something for those, and that's about $37 if you were to buy it like at regular price $12.50. So that was, you know, that was a very good deal for that. And if I don't like it, I can donate it. So this was really interesting. This board game that's right in front of me that's new and sealed, it's the Maury game. You Are Not the Father. The lie detector determined you'll love this game. What will your DNA envelope say? I had no idea that such a game existed. You know, long story short, if y'all don't follow or watch any of the Maury Povich show, or Povich, it's probably Povich. Anyway, so there's a segment on there, hence the name of You Are Not the Father, where they do paternity tests, and women who don't know who their child's father is will come on the show with someone that they think could possibly be the dad. And with meme culture and making fun of other people, there are folks out there who have made compilations of some of the most outrageous reactions to finding out that someone is not the father of someone's child. And granted, it is a talk show and, you know, part of reality TV, so some of that might be a little bit more exaggerated, like most reality TV is, but it makes for good entertainment, especially, you know, for me personally, if I'm having a really down day or, you know, something just is on my mind or I'm not feeling right, I will watch the clips from this segment and just start laughing because the people just get so upset when, you know, they've been on the show a few times and they still don't know who their child's father is. So it's dramatic, but it's entertainment for me, especially if I'm feeling down, just because I'm like, oh boy, they just go way over the top. Like I said, it is reality TV or a reality talk show, so of course things are probably going to be exaggerated, or people on the show are asked to go a little over the top with some things, but you know what, hey, if it makes me feel better about myself, I will, I'll watch it all day. Anyway, so back to the game here. Like I said, I had no idea this thing even existed. I paid $5 for it. I scanned it into Amazon first, just to see if it possibly had any value there. You know, there were people asking a lot of money for it, but unfortunately, I was restricted. And Amazon, that's a whole nother story on why I haven't been doing anything on there. If y'all want to hear about that, we can, of course, do a video about that sometime. Anyway, so I paid $5 for it, and usually when I see that it has a higher, or people are asking a lot of money for it on Amazon, I'll check eBay. Now, granted, with Amazon, anybody who has Prime will get free shipping. Usually, and that deters buyers from eBay because they have to pay the shipping on something. But I was pleasantly surprised to see that this game is not easy to find. I don't remember how old it is or if it's got a year on it anywhere. Oh, it's from 2019, so it's not terribly old. So we're looking at like 6 years. But I saw them going for like $80, $90. So of course I was definitely going to pick that up because that's just a no-brainer. And to pay only $5 for it, what a deal. So keep your eyes peeled for that, obviously. I'm a lover of the old boxes. I love them when they have like an image of a lady on there from, the teens or the 20s or the 30s. I have no idea what this possibly could have been. It could have been chocolate. It could have been a jewelry box. But I have a soft spot for things like this because, they lasted this long and, now it's sitting in a flea market waiting for somebody to buy it without it getting crushed. So I, of course, decided to take it. I also picked up some postcards. It's a pinup postcard. It says Beach Peach. Based on that hairstyle, we're probably looking at the 1940s, maybe late 30s, early 40s. Then we've got another bathing beauty here, if I can pick her up. You can definitely tell these are older based on that swimsuit and the style of the lady's hair. So I loved that. And these are some of those like cartoony postcards that I like to find every now and then if they're good enough. I like the lady sitting in the cocktail shaker and with the leggings, and that was risque for its time. I'm sure that's probably just like it's laughable. But I loved that. And this is one of those like funny, funny naughty postcards. Send me a man who will steal my heart away, and then you've got a burglar looking like he's using like a portable vacuum to suck her jewelry away without her knowing it. That's really funny. So I love, stuff like that because it's humorous and it's not too offensive. So talk about forgetting about what I bought. I spotted this piece. Like I said, I completely forgot about it. It's an apron, obviously, and it's got a very like gay 90s theme to it with the different vehicles and such on it. I know that was a very popular motif in the 50s and 60s. So that's when I assumed that this was made. I don't know if it was a handmade piece or a factory-made piece that you could buy at a store. But I thought that was really cool, and I'm sure somebody out there would really love to have this. Of course, I'm going to look it up and see if it is anything special or like a unique pattern and whatnot. Otherwise, keep your eyes peeled for it at a sale. All right, so as you can see, I scored really big with all kinds of reference books and such. Now, some of these I actually would like to hold on to myself, but some of these I'm going to be selling. I thought about doing just a separate sale of reference books by themselves as like a test, like maybe do like 10 books. I do like to do those as offer ups. That way people get a chance to get their hands on something that they've been looking for. So I got some really good ones. Some of these I actually have, but they might be an older edition, so I may end up selling the one that I have already and keep the more current, quote-unquote, up-to-date one. So we've got collectible glassware from the 40s, 50s, and 60s. I know some people are going to love this one. We've got decorative American pottery and whiteware. I know there are plenty of people out there who collect this stuff or just love it and would love to flip through this and see what they possibly could find out there at the antique stores or at your thrift stores or auctions. We have one for pottery and porcelain markings. I may hold on to this one for a little bit because this will be a good idea of certain markings on certain pieces and help me date them. So that one might be a keeper for a little while. We've got one on collectible glass shoes. I know that people do collect these items, so I'm sure, hence the term collectible glass shoes. So I think somebody out there would absolutely love this. So I picked that one up. This is another one that I think I'm gonna hold on to. This is a bedroom and bathroom glassware of the Depression years. I wanna say that Scott has this one, or a book like this, so I'm gonna hold on to this one. And plus, these are just really good to look in, I think. Some of them I'm okay with selling because they might not be something that, you know, I would normally look for, or something that I can, you know, not all reference books are for everyone. So we have a first edition for Made in Japan ceramics. So I might flip through this one and see if there's anything in there that I want to hold on to. Here's one for pressed glass. This is the second edition for glassware between 1860 and 1930. Vaseline glass, daisy and buttons. I can already tell. I think that's daisy and button. I was at my local Goodwill and I picked up a piece that looked like this, and you could definitely tell it was cut, not pressed. Pressed is a lot smoother. The cut stuff feels like it would literally cut you if you were to rub your hand on it, but it's not sharp. This one is Florence's Glassware Patterns, identification guide. I think that's number 5 or number 4. From 1900 through the 1960s. This one is just on modern glass, so if you're interested in collecting modern stuff, that would be a good piece for you. I think we're getting piled up a little too high here, so I'm going to move these out of the way real quick. We have Elegant Glassware of the Depression Era, 9th edition. Cambridge, Fostoria, Heisey, and others. We have Kitchen Glassware of the Depression years, 5th edition. Some of these do look very familiar to me, so like I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the books that I have and see what edition they are, and if they are an older edition, I will, of course, sell that one, and then I will keep the one that is more current. Until I find, you know, the 6th edition of that one, for example. This one is, I've had this one before. This is Yellowware. And, yep. Some of these I also might look up on eBay, because some of the books are worth, you know, more there than they would be had I brought them to a sale. So, of course, it's just going to require a little bit more research, but we will see. This one is Art Glass Nouveau, Ray and Lee Grover. So that might be a really cool one to flip through. I'll see if that one will be a keeper or not. We've got Hall China, 3rd edition. That I see Hall China from time to time. I see a lot of this here. It does not have the value that some people ask for it in their antique booths or in their flea market booths. It just doesn't. I see it too often, and it's just not a pattern that I desire personally. This one might appeal to somebody. We've got Glass Toothpick Holders, 2nd edition. Neela and Tom Bredhoft and Joe and Bob Sanford. Here's one for Bauer, Classic American Pottery. Again, some of these I'm going to do a little bit more research on just to make sure that they are not worth like 40, 50 bucks on eBay. So we've got 50s Glass by Leslie Pina. That's got like some of the, what were some of the examples? Like this kind of stuff, you know. Oh, that's not even in focus. Like things like that in it. So I might pilfer through that and see if that's anything that I might want to hold on to for myself. I know that there are collectors of Flow Blue out there, so I was thrilled to find this one. This is a Schiffer book, 3rd edition. Looks like somebody paid $30 for this back in the day. I have one piece, or actually 2 pieces of Flow Blue right now, so I might look into this one and see what there is that, you know, it can help me identify the age and everything. I'm gonna move these over just a little bit, because like I said, there's just a few more, and then we will be done with this video. We've got Vernon Kilns, I have actually bought a few pieces of Vernon Ware myself, and that was by Maxine Feek Nelson, hardback. And what's nice about these books is even though they're very heavy, they can still go media mail, so you won't pay a whole lot to get them to you. We have Collector's Encyclopedia of Depression Glass 14th edition, so I may end up holding on to this one because this is a very, 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 very revised edition of Depression Glass, so we'll see about that. And I'm sure someone else is going to really like this one. The very last one that I was able to score is this Majolica book, Collector's Encyclopedia of Majolica, and Marion Katz Marks. So that should be a very interesting book to go through. All right, so as you can see, I scored really big with all kinds of reference books and such. Now, some of these I actually would like to hold on to myself, but some of these I'm going to be selling. I thought about doing just a separate sale of reference books by themselves as like a test, like maybe do like 10 books. I do like to do those as offer ups. That way people get a chance to get their hands on something that they've been looking for. So I got some really good ones. Some of these I actually have, but they might be an older edition, so I may end up selling the one that I have already and keep the more current, quote-unquote, up-to-date one. So we've got collectible glassware from the 40s, 50s, and 60s. I know some people are going to love this one. We've got decorative American pottery and whiteware. I know there are plenty of people out there who collect this stuff or just love it and would love to flip through this and see what they possibly could find out there at the antique stores or at your thrift stores or auctions. We have one for pottery and porcelain markings. I may hold on to this one for a little bit because this will be a good idea of certain markings on certain pieces and help me date them. So that one might be a keeper for a little while. We've got one on collectible glass shoes. I know that people do collect these items, so I'm sure, hence the term collectible glass shoes. So I think somebody out there would absolutely love this. So I picked that one up. This is another one that I think I'm going to hold on to. This is a bedroom and bathroom glassware of the Depression years. I want to say that Scott has this one, or a book like this, so I'm going to hold on to this one. And plus, these are just really good to look in, I think. Some of them I'm okay with selling because they might not be something that, you know, I would normally look for, or something that I can, you know, not all reference books are for everyone. So we have a first edition for Made in Japan ceramics. So I might flip through this one and see if there's anything in there that I want to hold on to. Here's one for pressed glass. This is the second edition for glassware between 1860 and 1930. Vaseline glass, daisy and buttons. I can already tell. I think that's daisy and button. I was at my local Goodwill and I picked up a piece that looked like this, and you could definitely tell it was cut, not pressed. Pressed is a lot smoother. The cut stuff feels like it would literally cut you if you were to rub your hand on it, but it's not sharp. This one is Florence's Glassware Patterns, identification guide. I think that's number 5 or number 4. From 1900 through the 1960s. This one is just on modern glass, so if you're interested in collecting modern stuff, that would be a good piece for you. So I think we're getting piled up a little too high here, so I'm going to move these out of the way real quick. So there you have it. Those were all of the reference books I was able to get my hands on. Of course, I will be doing research, as I mentioned, on some of these just to make sure that they're not like a $50, $60, $70, $80 book. What do you all think about having a reference book live sale? Like, let's say if I bring 10 books, they will all be offer up. That way, everyone gets a chance to get their hands on something that they may want. Like I said, some of these books are going to be for myself. I'm going to update whatever it is that I have in my library. And then, or if it's necessary, if I need a more current edition of what I have already, I'll sell the one that I've had, and then I'll keep the more current one. And yeah, so let me know what y'all think about that sale. Like I said, it's probably only going to be like 10 books at a time. And of course, I'll do my regularly scheduled sale on Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern along with that. If there is something that you would be interested in that I mentioned is going to be for sale in my eBay store, the link to it is down below in the description box. I've got over 500 listings there, so definitely check that out. Also, if there is something that you really, really want and you're afraid you're not going to be able to make it to my sale on Saturday, you can email me and I can quote you a price. If you're okay with that, I will hold it for you till the time I do my invoices that Sunday. So just throwing that out there. So I want to thank you all so much for watching this video, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye, guys.